Welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon next year, Gale of Darkness Blind. I don't know why I keep saying blind at this point. It's not a blind LP anymore. Still, it's in the title. So, I completely forgot all about this. I didn't do any further recording in advance. I was like, okay, gotta record for the new year. Like, for the end of the year, I should say. Now it is the new year. And again, I will just say Happy New Year and all that usual bollocks. But I completely forgot to record any more parts for this. I've been playing Super Mystery Dungeon. I stated in the previous part that I was playing Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. And I've since completed that. Didn't complete it 100%. I mean, I completed the main story and what little of the post-game it had, but I didn't recruit all the Pokemon and complete Paradise and all that shit. But still, pretty neat. And I've since played Super Mystery Dungeon. And I gotta say, I think the plot in Gates to Infinity was the better of the two, to be honest. But I will say that both had an odd pacing issue with the games. Like, it starts off really slow in both of them. And then when shit starts to get interesting, where it's like, oh, it's getting intense now, and then it just kind of ends. And it's just like, what, that's it? Then you get to the post-game, and it's just like, really not much to it. Well, there is in Super Mystery Dungeon. Like, the post-game is much the same as you'd expect from, you know, Mystery Dungeon series, really. Where it's like, okay, here's how we go about this and that and blah. And then it's like, okay, just recruit all the Pokemon now. And in Super Mystery Dungeon, you have like 720 Pokemon or something like that. While in the other one, it's less than 200. So there's a big difference there, so I've been playing that. Gotta say, the difficulty really spikes on some dungeons. Okay, get this right. There's two missions. I think there was one, like... And here's the stupid thing. I think it was a place called Freezing Mountain or something like that. And you know what? It was anything but Freezing Mountain. It looked like a generic cave. There was no ice. There were frickin' Tyranitar's bringing up sandstorms in that shithole. That was not a frickin' freezing mountain. That was a frickin' canyon or some shit. There was frickin' Tyranitars everywhere. So, like, I got one mission, well, two missions. First mission, get to 10 floors to save a Mischievous or something. I accomplished that, but there was, like, further going 5 more floors and explore the rest of the dungeon, and I would have got Porygon on my team, because it's just like, oh, explore the whole dungeon. So I, like, accomplished the Mischievous thing, but I was like, should I continue? Like, fuck it, yeah. And as soon as I clicked on the stay option rather than escape, some fucker, I can't remember who the fuck it was off the top of my head, but some fucker used a range attack and one-shot me, and that was the end of that adventure. And then I went to Plipper Island 3 times. I tried to get to that point, you know? 3 times, and I failed each time, so I couldn't frickin' revive my team. It's cause bullshit happened to every corner. It's like every frickin' time it was like Battle Frontier level of rigged bullshit, I tell you, man. Tyranitar's around every fucking corner. You'll just be like walk into a room and then suddenly BAM! Earthquake and you're dead before you even know what hit you. It's frickin' difficulty spike, man. It's frickin' ridiculous. And as for the story, though, like, it has, like, there's two, they both, well, Super Mystery Dungeon had, like, a completely different twist to the ending, which was neat. I won't say what it is, but the twist makes you just kind of, well, for me, anyway, was less, oh, the feels, like you come to expect from the endings in the games. Like, for example, the ending in Gates to Infinity. I was not as invested in it all, to be honest. But even with all that, it made me a little teary-eyed at the end. It was like, God damn it, how do you accomplish this? Didn't happen with Super Mystery Dungeon, though. I mean, it did have an impact and all that. It was a different twist, but it just kind of made me going, wait, so how does this make any sense, kind of thing, you know? Because there were quite a few plot holes, if you ask me, with that one. While Gates to Infinity's ending was more like, oh, right in the fields. And they actually, like, post-game, they actually accomplished something that no other Mystery Dungeon has done when it comes to, you know, the whole scenario with the playable player character. It's like, because the player character is always a human turned into a Pokemon, right? But it's never really, you know, acknowledged much, really, is it? It's just like, okay, you were a human turned into a Pokemon. I mean, it is, kind of. But it's never a case where it's just like, yeah, well, the protagonist probably has, you know, friends and family in their world, so they can't just stay a Pokemon forever and shit like that. Well, you know, Gates to Infinity actually addresses that, while Super Mystery Dungeon kinda didn't. So yeah, I preferred Gates to Infinity the way it played out compared. But anyways, as I've been rambling on for 6 minutes and accomplishing nothing here, I'm going to continue searching. I think I was supposed to be searching in here actually for more battle CDs, as I continue to ramble on about the Mystery Dungeon series. I've got like 500 odd Pokemon in Super Mystery Dungeon now. It's just ridiculous how the recruiting works in that. It's like you could just like go through one dungeon and suddenly you got like freaking 10 Pokemon out of it. I mean, it's kind of to be expected if it's gonna be like that many Pokemon, but still, it was kinda anticlimactic when you just recruit some really overpowered Pokemon, especially very early on. Like Salamence is like when you get really early on and makes things a bit, you know, anticlimactic. His work titled Peace and Justice. A battle CD. Oh, that, it's something Cypher dropped in haste to escape. You're welcome to it if you like. Battle CD 21. So anyway, as I was saying, continue rambling on about Mystery Dungeon. I've taken a few poorly taken photographs with my phone camera of like just a bunch of various things. Some of them will probably contain spoilers. Yeah, some of them definitely will. But I just feel like showing them because just random. So insert them while I'm rambling on, more or less. Just like, yeah, there definitely will be at least one or two of those that's, well, maybe more, probably more than that. That's very much spoiler for Super Mystery Dungeon. So, you know, I'm going to actually insert them here after establishing that. So, there's that. As I walk back and forth. And there's one amusing image. It was like a Lapras. I have to take a picture of it because just like, I mean, just look at that freaking Lapras. It's just like, it's just like, there's something about it that's amusing me. It's lined with difficult looking books. Difficult looking books. Difficult looking books. But yeah, that Lapras image though, man. It's just like something, frame her on a wall, that. Just like, this is my beloved Lapras. I see you got nothing else. Wow, there might still be another floor, actually. I can't remember the layout, to be honest. So yeah, with the whole Mystery Dungeon thing, that kind of explains why I haven't got any recording done. I've just been playing that. Ductile survival in the paperless era. I don't really know what to say to that, to be honest. You say that you're on the news, son. Well, it's only a news program. I beat the news too. I took a tumble over a cliff when I was still half asleep. It was quite spectacular. Difficult looking books. You know, what defines a difficult looking book to the protagonist anyway? Bunch of vending machines. Battle CD. Hey now, this is where we keep sets and props. It's not safe, so scram. Ah, Battle CD. This room is only for big stuff. It's no place for something that small. Kid, go ahead, take it. Battle CD 38. There's nothing else to find. Also gotta remember to insert that bit from the New Year video that I completely forgot about in the previous part. But, you know, gonna chance it again by saying I'll insert it at the end of the video and probably forget. It's a shame they sealed off this place here, isn't it? Uncle, where have your adventure taken you lately, huh? Citadel Isle? I've never heard that name. Well, you can go anywhere that you want, can't you? Not really, I can't go to, say, Kanto or Johto or Hoenn region or Sinnoh region or Lola or wherever. Those are the only regions I've actually been to in the Pokemon series, really. It's like, it's like Generation 5 and 6, I have no idea the regions on those ones. I've still got, I can't remember if it's Alpha Sapphire or Omega Sapphire. It's probably Alpha Sapphire. I can't remember the title of it. But the remake of Sapphire, I haven't got around to playing it yet. Mostly because I'm Pokemon'd out a bit, you know. And I want to savor it, you know. Because I kind of rushed through the 2 Mystery Dungeon games. Much like I did with Pokemon Moon last year. You just like played it over a few days and then it's just like, what now? Oh my gosh, you managed to reach Citadel Isle. Oh my gosh, I've turned into Sunflora. Oh yeah, well I took one of the screenshots of Wigglytuff from the guild. Because they all make a cameo appearance. Like, a very kind of meh kind of cameo appearance. But like there are Pokemon in Super Mystery Dungeon that are hinted at being Pokemon from the other Mystery Dungeon games, but they only really have like one line of dialogue, really. I mean, it's kind of neat that they do that, but it's kind of just feels like there could have been more to it. It's like this one Pokemon that was in Gates to Infinity and played a really important role and actually kind of acknowledges you, like in a kind of way that kind of breaks the fourth wall a bit. But there's nothing more beyond it. I'm just like, how disappointing. Why couldn't there have been more to it, damn it? That means you're finally broken into Cypher's headquarters. I'm getting shivers from excitement over this. Muggle, give it your best. I've already done that shit, god damn it. Acknowledge this shit for God's sake. And another thought that's bugged me for the longest time. Why is it that every motherfucking Pokemon game, no matter how many years pass, no matter how many games they release, why the fuck do they not make it so that you can have more than one save file? Seriously. I mean, with the console versions, at least you can have multiple memory cards. But with a handheld, you have to buy the game more than once. Well, that explains a lot, really, when you think about it like that, isn't it? They want more money! Money, 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 money. I mean, look at the Zelda series. Usually have like 3 save files. Why can't Pokemon do it after all these years, god damn it? I mean, like, the Mystery Dungeon games, I like the story and all that, but I don't want to delete my freaking save file just to play through it again. That's always stuff that's bugged me, you know? If you want to play through the game again, you're gonna have to delete your save file, which you dedicated many hours to. You're gonna have to just delete that and start over. Or you will buy the game again and just, you know, actually start over there. And then probably delete that afterwards, and then the cycle repeats itself, essentially. And it kind of sucks. Slab of difficult looking books. There's a Berktile technology and news reporting. So does that not count as a difficult book then? Battle CD. Anyway, you're interested in battle CDs too. They're quite amusing, aren't they? Beg your pardon. Oh no, I don't do battle sims. What I'm interested in are battle CDs themselves. Technology that went into them is quite remarkable. Oh, that's right. I have an old analytical data on them somewhere. Hey, Nex. We don't have consistent voice acting. It's always like this when something catches his attention. He doesn't hear a thing. You can take that battle CD. Take a break from your adventure for a change. That's what I've been doing for freaking God knows how long now. CD 36. So, what's your name again? Bit. That's always like this when someone catches his attention. He doesn't hear a thing. Wait, which one of you guys was talking about not having an interest in that? I was gonna make a joke, but I missed my chance. It's gonna be like, you're not into battle sims, you're into dating sims. Haha. Now I just have a thought. If like someone who's never heard of dating sims before, just like heard that it's like dating sims, what is that? Do you get into a serious relationship with a sim? No, that's not how it is. That would be most bizarre. Well, dating sims are kind of odd in their own way, really. More of a visual novel kind of guy. I prefer my story. So, are we done here? I don't even know if there's any more battle CDs to be found here. I'm pretty sure I checked all the other buildings. Boo, boo. I don't think there's anything around here. Do 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 do. Boo do 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 do. Can you imagine if they extended the ore region and made like a handheld version? Because when they make handheld versions, you know, they have much more expansive worlds. To an extent. That's one thing that's always bugged me about RPGs, is that because it makes sense, you know, you can't really have like giant, enormous worlds. Well, some do, I guess, now that I really think about it. But it usually bugs me whenever there's a game where it's like, you got a town, and it's like, what, like 5 buildings and that's it, and you call it a town, or even a city, and I'm just like, that's no city, man. That's not even a village, man. It's about as detailed as that desert. It's like this village right here. This actually has a reasonable size to it. But still, it could be bigger. But I can understand limitations and all that, probably. Then you got games like Grand Border, and it's just like freaking huge. And then, well, really, when it comes to designing, I imagine it's much easier to make an expansive world if there isn't a lot of civilization mixed into it. Because then it's just like giant landscapes, really. If you're gonna add in buildings with detailed NPCs, it's gonna take a lot more work, you know? So let's go on nosing in people's houses for battle CDs. The quest for battle CDs continues. Notebook titled Torch's Growth Journal. So you've been keeping a journal of this year, Kabuskin. That's another odd thing in Super Mystery Dungeon. Like, online, you know, just as a browse through forums but never post, because that's just how it is with me. Just like, whatever. It's just like always browsing through forums and shit. And like, people like saying like, oh, you can only get like 3 versions of the starters fully evolved or any shit like that. I haven't evolved any Pokemon in that game, but I've encountered the most bizarre thing that kind of contradicts it. And that is, for example, Kabuskin here. Kabuskin's in the game twice! There are 2 different Kabuskins for whatever reason. Then there's 2 Torchics for whatever reason. Then 2 Blazerkins for some reason. So if they were actually possible to evolve them, you could have a lot more than frickin' 3 fully evolved ones. So I don't get what that's all about. And it's so surreal. It's like my partner Pokemon's a Pikachu, and I've like got 2 other Pikachus on my team, and I'm just like, what? How confusing is that? It's just like getting completely mixed up, if not for the fact that the Pikachu that's your partner is always following you around, and is always near the start of the list by default on the Pokemon and all that jazz. But that's just confusing, you know. Same with Chikorita, that's the one I got. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. The Pokemon I got the first time was Chikorita, my second time around was Mudkip, but I went with Chikorita anyway, because I wanted to have Pikachu as my partner. I was alright with having a Chikorita, you know, as my main character, because, well, I showed the screenshots, like near the start of the game, and that just, facial expression sold me on that. I was like, yep, we're sticking with Chikorita, that is a priceless expression. But my original partner was a Squirtle. I mean, you can just change them wherever you want, essentially. But they have the classic kind of, what would you do in this situation kind of quiz thing. And the questions were randomized. I got Chikorita the first time, Mudkip the second time, but went with Chikorita anyway. And ironically, it's like I was going for Pikachu, but on the second time I got Mudkip and Pikachu. I mean, how does that work? It's like, end up with, like, only one Pokemon that I was like, okay, I'll go with that one the first time. And then the second Pokemon I was going for, I get it on the second time around, but not the other one. It was a bit of, whatever. Here, son, let me have a look at your Pokemon. Aha, very good. All your Pokemon appear to be good. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Probably none in there, but fuck it, let's have a look, see. Do-do-do-do-do. Do you sell anything? Oh, the notes. Nope. Ba-ba, ba-ba. Note Patil's secret news leads. It's lined with old-looking books. My husband has gone off to the York Coliseum. He left with bouncing his step saying, I can't let Michael take all the glory. Like always, as soon as he hears the word Bradley, he gets all agitated and antsy for a real one. Just when Harold is becoming remains young at heart, you can get tiresome. Ho ho ho. Well, he can take his frickin' stone and shove it and sniff it up his ass. That came out in the wrong order there, didn't it? Because I ain't there in the York Coliseum. I defeated Loverina way back when, and I ain't going any further on that shit. You know, because it's just ridiculous. It's lined with books written by Egan, titled My Journeys with Pikachu. I wonder how those stories play out. And there's gotta be an old-ass Pikachu as well. I wonder if I've actually left any Pokemon here still. Hello, welcome. Your Pokemon is doing fine. Which Pokemon have I left here? Your Aron, it's achieved 27 level growth. Are you here to reclaim your Aron? Your party's full. I'm sorry, but I can't return your Pokemon if you don't have the room for it. Come see us whenever you want your Pokemon back. I just remembering in Pokemon Sun and Moon, I think like the daycare thing, they didn't actually raise your Pokemon by any levels. They're just there for breeding purposes. Which is a real shame, you know? I mean, the downside to, you know, leveling up via the daycare is they'll learn moves whether you want them to or not, essentially, but still. Saves some time, you know? I've heard from Peru that you were on the news over the terrible agent Jack. I have no idea that you were involved in something that big. It certainly startled me when I heard. Hello, hello, I'm the narrator. I don't give a shit. Is Reptile a smart way to raise Pokemon? And what is the smart way to raise Pokemon? It's just picture. Just like, well, if you want to raise Pokemon to be powerful in battle, here is the right way to raise Pokemon. You must put them in a daycare with the perfect conditions, and if they suck, you just leave them out in the wild. You just like, fuck, this Pokemon sucks. And you just abandon it like an asshole until you get the right one. And then, and only then, you stuff it full of drugs. Probably. Just like, I don't know. Not into the competitive scene, as I've stated before, when it comes to Pokemon. I just collect Pokemon, and then, well, that's it really. Well, I suppose I do battles as well. I haven't actually battled an actual real-life trainer in God knows how long ago. Then again, I haven't played Pokemon Sun or Moon in quite some time, and that's the only one that has the online play. There's gotta be another building that I'm overlooking. Maybe there's a bookshelf. Well, there's always a bookshelf in the Pokemon Centers. Or not. There used to be, but there's not one here. Well, rather, there usually is. Sometimes. Occasionally. Their search goes on. And on. And on. Have we found anything of note in this village that's bigger than the towns? Bird flapping its wings, chirping and rattling away at the mirror. Occasionally, my TV is quite loud. I don't think it'll be the Guardian boss. In our search for whatever battle CDs I have not obtained yet. For a battle? And if what Seabreeze feels great as it always does. On a day like this, a battle is sure to feel fantastic. How about it, sweetie? Want to have a battle against my Pokemon? I like your answer. Let's see what you're made of. So we at least get one battle in, you know. And it's nearly 20 to 9. There's no way I'm going to be able to edit this and upload it today, so like there'll be like a bit of a delay. Like I'll wait until, I suppose I'll upload it, this part on the 11th, I think. I don't think it do too well here at Trento, but you're not quite there yet. We're just bringing Slurry for a change. Oh, Moltres, you wouldn't do too well. I mean, Yutiko, that's it. That's the name I would give you, yes. Look at Yuna. It's rain and rain! Well, where else would it be raining, really? Mildly irritating. Hello. Outrageous that you survive! Except you. Deliver! Can you imagine being hit by a hydro pump? I mean, I imagine that would be like the equivalent of, what's it called? Just blanked out. The hose they use for the fire truck. What is it called? Whatever it's called. I imagine it'd be like the equivalent of being blasted by that, only a bit even stronger, I'd imagine. It's still outrageous! Level up! The sting of the salt spray brings tears to my eyes. I thought you were just a kid, but you're not half bad. I'm sure you're going to become one decent trainer down the road. Let's battle again sometime. You know, I kind of like that there's like, after a certain amount of time has passed, they do actually, you know, challenge you to a rematch. I mean, they don't get any stronger by this point in the game, but it's still neat that you can actually challenge them to battles every now and then. Hello and welcome to our Pokemon Center. Holy shit, you actually read it for once. Restore your tired Pokemon to full health. Would you like to rest your Pokemon? Okay, I'll take a Pokemon for a few seconds. I have blue hair, by the way. I mean, I don't know why, but I just thought I'd say that. Thank you for waiting. We've restored all your Pokemon to full health. We hope to see you again. It's a book titled The Study of Sea-Dwelling Pokemon. We're not going to have Pokemon Centers. I mean, it's free. It doesn't matter how many Pokemon you have. A Pokemon Center restores them all for free. Isn't that great? Except that one shitty Pokemon Center in Pokemon Sun and Moon where where it was taken over and they charged you that one time. If memory serves. What do you gotta say, sir? It's a PC file you wouldn't use at every Pokemon Center. You're free to use it too. Alright, we booked some Pokemon. Now, book some Pokemon. And oh, more Pokemon. And in the world of Pokemon, do they have anything, you know, any other interest other than Pokemon? I mean, it's like the equivalent of, like, a world where everyone's obsessed with animals and literally nothing else. I mean, I suppose they do have some things they have other interests in. I mean, for example, look at these guys on stage here. That's not involving Pokemon. You know, discounting the fact that Mirabee has a Pokeball-shaped afro. Well, colored afro, I should say. Or you could see as some kind of berry, I suppose, but whatever. Got any bookshelves around here? I want you, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. Doesn't look like you're gonna see anything here. Oh, there are actually books here. No battle CDs though. Hi, how are you doing? Let's have a look at that laboratory you're with. Doesn't seem to be used to yet. You should treat it kindly. Well, what about the best Pokemon ever? Hi, how are you doing? Let's have a look at that S-Pen you're with. Simply adores you. It couldn't possibly get to like you more. This is wonderful. That's all I've got to say. No ribbons or anything like that, though. Nothing here. I wonder how many battle CDs we even have left to find at this rate. Probably not many. Oh, hello, would you like some of my inexpensive but very effective herbal medicines? Do come again, I'll be waiting. For poisoning, gives that though. Paras heal cures paralysis and awake wakes up asleep Pokemon. Oh yes, if a Pokemon falls asleep in a battle, you can restore it by calling it. Except in all Pokemon games where that option isn't there for some reason. I guess because they want to keep the illusion of the silent protagonist, maybe, I don't know. It makes no sense. Reptile study of land-dwelling Pokemon. So we got sea-dwelling Pokemon and land-dwelling Pokemon. I'm now picturing like, you know, like beastries. Well, actually, that would be what the Pokedex would be for, really, with Pokemon. But imagine like really more detailed kind of pages with like each Pokemon. And rather than just a simple paragraph, just be like, oh, this Pokemon does this and that. Just like go into really, you know, a lot of detail and lore for each Pokemon. It'd be pretty interesting, you know. Just like, but that's what the Pokedex is for. But I mean, like, more detail than a simple paragraph. You know, make it like, you know, like a legend of sorts, you know. Just kind of go into like a bunch of lore and shit. It's like, for example, you got like, I'll try to think of one. It's like Gengar, for example, how it feeds off of the heat of people or something like that. You could go into detail about shit like that, you know, in more ways, you know. You could just be like, oh, and this and that and blah. Or how about Pikachu? Rather than just being like, oh, it generates electricity from blah blah blah. Give some more detail into its habitat. You know, like how sometimes you get Pokedex entries where you're just like, oh, and this Pokemon, for example, like a Pidgeotto or something, feeds on Caterpie and shit like that. I mean, you never see that. That'd be kind of horrifying in this series, wouldn't it? But, you know, the Pokedex does say it and shit like that. And they just go into more detail about how the Pokemon is and all that, like an actual, you know, proper book. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling. It's packed with works of fiction. It's one of difficult looking books. I see you have no battle CDs here. Approaching the 40-minute mark, and we haven't found a thing at all. I don't think there is. Wait, maybe something over here. No. The book title, Striving for Success as Global Engineers. Makes me think of Skyrim just randomly just there. It's like if you actually read any of the books, like some of them can be pretty interesting and some of them kind of amusing. I can't remember what this one book was, but it increases one of your things. I can't remember which. and it was like something like the best defense is to not get hit or something like that. It's just like, well, no shit. What kind of advice is that? It's like, the best way to not die is to not get kills. If you get hit by a sword, it would hurt, so avoid it. Or some stupid shit. It doesn't actually say that, but it does say something like, something about like, just don't get hit. I'm just imagining these random books in this game having a similar kind of freaking thing to it, but we don't read them, so we don't really know for sure. What am I even doing still here? I don't think there's really anything else to see here. I don't think there are any battle CDs here, unless they're, you know, hidden somewhere that I don't know where. There's probably still some out there somewhere, but I do not know where. What I do know is my legs hurt, so I'm gonna call the recording. Next part will probably actually do some of the battle CDs we've obtained, even if we haven't found them all yet. But I'll confirm what numbers we need so I can check that, I suppose. But that'll be saved for the next part, and if I remember to, I'm going to insert the Pokemon Next to Gale Darkness clips from the New Year video, just for the hell of it, at the end of this video. So yeah, that is all. I shall see you next time, viewers. See you next time.